Well, Mr. Cameron, I'm very happy to be able to interview such a famous actor as Kirk Cameron, who is one of the protagonists of the film Life Mark.
Right.
This movie, Life Mark, is being released these days in Spain, and soon it will be released in Mexico and other countries of Latin America. Life Mark is a film about adoption, about marriage, about parent-child bonds, and although it is a fictional film, you and your wife, Chelsea Noble, have 6 children, and the first four are adopted. So the first question is clear. Why did you and your wife choose to start living parenthood through adoption?
Well, it's an honor to be talking with you, Jose. Thank you for having me on your program. And this was a very special movie for me because number one, while it is the characters are portrayed by actors, it is actually based on a true story. And it's the true story of a young woman at 18 years old who changed her mind on the abortion table. At the last moment, she decided that she was going to choose to give birth to her child and then place him for adoption. And 19 years later, this young boy grows up and he wants to meet his biological mother. And she is very afraid that maybe he hates her for abandoning him. But really, he wants to tell her that he loves her and that she is his hero and that he has this wonderful life and a wonderful family. And he wanted to thank her. The reason that this movie was so important to me to make, and the reason I loved playing the adoptive father is because, as you said, I am an adoptive father. My wife and I adopted 4 of our 6 children. And I think the reason we adopted the first 4 children, so we chose to begin family with adoption. And I think one of the reasons is that my wife is also an adopted child.
Mhm.
So for her, this was very special. And we wanted to be parents, and we knew that there was a need for children with no families. And so we said, this is a match made in heaven. We can be parents, they need a family. And so we adopted 1, then 2, then 3, then 4 kids. And then we had 2 more kids the old-fashioned way. And so now we have a great big family, and it's been fantastic.
Mm. Life Mark is also a pro-life movie showing how giving the possibility of birth to the baby who starts life in an unplanned pregnancy can generate a live stream and an exciting adventure. Today, however, many films and series show that the normal, the good, even the compassionate thing to do is to abort. What do you think about abortion?
Well, murdering any human being is always wrong. As a father of 4 adopted children and the husband of an adopted wife, these are precious people in my life. They are my treasures, and so to treat them as anything less than that is wrong in my book. And I think it's wrong in the book, God's book. These are children made in the image of God. However, I also understand that we live in a culture today where the value of life in the womb is not treasured the way that it should be. And many young girls find themselves uh, having an unplanned pregnancy. Uh, Although it's not completely unplanned, they probably thought that they were going to prevent the pregnancy, but they know how it happened. And so here they are, and they think that perhaps a good solution is just to erase the baby by calling it something less than a baby, like maybe a fetus or maybe just a clump of cells. But This is the beginning of how you started, Jose, is a tiny little fetus. That's how I started. That's how all of us started. Even those who are pro-choice and for abortion started out as a tiny little fetus, a little baby at the moment of conception. And I think that their life is precious also. So I think what we need to do is we need to come alongside these young men and women who find themselves with an unplanned pregnancy and help them to see the value of life and to treasure and protect those lives. That could be the next future president of Spain. That little baby could be a doctor that cures cancer, and future mothers and fathers who do important things in the world. And we can assist them, we can help them, and we can work together to find better solutions than ending the lives of precious people. And adoption is a great option too, Jose. I know as an adoptive father, and those biological mothers are precious treasures. They're heroes to us because they took a difficult situation and they gave those babies a chance at a great life.
And this is the reason why do you think it's important that movies or series or entertainment, which is what is transforming our society, show us beautiful stories with a pro-life message, as LifeMark, for example?
Yes. So often we remember songs and beautiful stories more than we remember what our teacher taught us in school or an article that we read, because stories come to life. We imagine stories when we hear songs, when we see movies, television series. Jesus Christ himself would tell stories about different people in order to communicate important values and lessons. So I think that the television shows that we produce, the movies that we make, the songs that we write, the poems that we author are very important, and they shape the hearts and minds of the next generation. So we should take that very seriously. Making movies is not just playing games and turning a profit of money. You're literally shaping the world that our children will live in by determining the stories that you tell them.
So why aren't there so many? Is it because the most famous producers and actors of Hollywood or other countries are afraid to work on pro-life films, or it is because there is a lack of good projects? So what's the reason?
That's a really good question. I think there are several answers to that question. One of them is many people within Hollywood don't have the conviction of their own heart that the value of life in the womb is precious. And so they don't make those types of movies. But having said that, there are many who do want to make great movies that value life. But as you said, many within the Hollywood industry are fearful of the punishment that will come to them if they celebrate these pro-life values. And they believe that they will get in trouble by their peers. They will be disciplined for doing those kinds of things. And so they don't want to touch it. They say, we don't talk about that subject. And everybody understands that. And even the Hollywood industry, the medical industry, the government, no one is immune to the pressure that comes from those who are able to punish you for having a set of values that they don't agree with.
And you are talking about these films, music, TV shows, social networks, and today especially TV series are transforming the mentality of the society on topics such as abortion, surrogacy, marriage, transgender ideology. Should we believers be more demanding and discerning about the kind of entertainment we consume?
Yes, Yes, absolutely, 100%. And I think that in order to do that, we need to have our own conviction of our heart. We need to have our own our faith in what is important, and then we need to be very discerning about the kind of entertainment that we consume and the kind of entertainment that we feed to our children. And that includes not just in our home, but in our schools. What are we telling the children in schools? What are we teaching them? It is so easy for busy parents who are distracted, to send their children to a school for 7 or 8 hours a day and not pay attention to what they're being taught. And then they're surprised when their children come back with a totally different set of values than the parents want them to have, because they're not being discerning and selective about the kinds of entertainment and the stories and the TV shows and the movies that they're seeing in school and in social media, social networks, as you said. So I believe that especially if you are of the family of faith, if you love God and you believe in the Bible, we must get off the defense and get onto the offense, if you know what I mean. We need to not just sit on the sidelines and be spectators watching as others teach our children. We must be on the playing field. We must be running the plays together with our children, so that they will cross the finish line and score the goal of faith and honor and virtue and courage and the kind of values that we want them to have. And entertainment is a big part of doing that.
My heart is on fire listening to you, but today Catholics like me and evangelical Christians like you still have difference, some of them more or less important. However, the pro-life fight, this pro-life fight and this defense of the family that you are talking about is a strong point of the unity between our communities. Do you believe that in this challenging historical moment that we are living, all Christians are called to work more closely together to defend the truth of human nature created by God?
Yes, Jose. I want to link arms with you and your family and your friends, with me and my family and friends, and we want to champion the values of life and liberty and freedom. Here in America, we have 3 values that we often talk about: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Well, without life, no other liberties are possible, right? It's the very starting point for everything. And I believe that someone who does not value life in the womb, particularly a parent, I don't understand that mindset. I understand being afraid and scared in a difficult situation and taking care of a problem by simply having an abortion, thinking that it's a tiny thing, it's a little thing, it's not an important thing. But as a parent, you realize that life is precious. Children are the future, and I want to work together with anyone who wants to defend and protect the value of life, because without life, we have nothing.
Life, Mark, is not the first film you have made with this kind of message. Yeah. Maybe the best known is Fireproof, about marriage, a very beautiful movie. However, before you started with this kind of films, you started with a successful career, almost as a teenage sex symbol, thanks to the sitcom Growing Pains, Los Problemas Crecen in Spanish. Yep. Very, very popular sitcom, where you share casting even with another teenage famous actor like Leonardo DiCaprio, for example. Yep. In fact, You are a part of a generation of actors who started out as a teen sex symbol, like Ben Affleck or Matt Damon or Leonardo himself. But then you choose to do other kinds of production with a constructive and familiar message. And Hollywood turned you aside. Have you ever regretted having focused your professional career the way you have?
Never. No, no, I have not. When I was on a TV, when I was on Problemas de Creten, is that how we say it?
Problemas tracking, very good.
Los Problemas Creten.
Growing
Um,
pains.
I was an atheist. I did not believe in God. When I was maybe 18 years old, 18 años,
That's very good.
yo hablo poquito español.
Perfect. So, I speak a little bit English, so we are in the same level.
And that is when I turned my heart and my mind to God, and everything changed for me. And so I wanted to be a part of movies and TV shows that said thank you to the God that gave me life, that gives me air to breathe, that keeps my heart beating at night while I'm asleep, my family, my health. And those are the decisions that I began to make at 18 years old. And when I look at the careers of some of my other actors, yes, they may be famous, yes, they may be rich, but many of them have challenges that I would not want to have. Today, I am successfully married. What's that?
For example, what kind of challenge?
Many are rich on the outside, but poor on the inside. Many have lots of acquaintances because they're famous and popular, but don't have one person that knows who they really are. Even one good friend. Many of them are lonely, even though they're surrounded by lots of people. And for me, because I know God, I have a great sense of who I am and who I belong to. I've been married for 32 years, very happily married, and have 6 children. That's very rare in Hollywood. And
Yeah.
I have a great sense of purpose and meaning in my work. It's not just to make money and then I die. I want to advance the kingdom of God and the principles of life and liberty and goodness and truth and beauty. So I wake up every morning very rich in my heart, even if I don't have a lot of money. Sometimes I have more money, sometimes I don't have more money.
Yeah.
Six children are expensive, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 4 children, so it's not 6,
Yeah.
but 4 is too expensive too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't feel like I wish that I had gone the typical Hollywood route. I'm very thankful that I went the direction that I did, and I believe that God is leading me there. He opens doors that I did not expect, and I go through those doors. He closes other doors that I look back now and I say, I'm so happy that those doors were closed, because I was able to do these other projects like Fireproof, like The Way of the Master, like another movie called Monumental, The Homeschool Awakening, LifeMark. These kinds of projects would never be possible if I did not go this way of following my heart and wanting to honor God.
Many actors and celebrities are good people, but it's rare, it's even strange to find celebrities who try to live a coherent life of faith and express it publicly.
Yeah.
Obviously, there always are exceptions, of course, but does it cost more to be consistent with one's faith when one becomes professionally successful?
Is it more difficult? Is that the question?
Is it more difficult? Yeah.
I think it is difficult. unless you don't care what other people think. And the biggest problem, especially for people who are popular, is that they make their entire life about wanting other people to like them, right? If I have all the followers on social media and I'm very popular, that's what makes me feel important. And so I don't want to lose that. And so if I have something maybe about my faith, or I have beliefs that will offend them, the temptation is to stay quiet and not live a life that is consistent, full of integrity, both in private and in public. But I decided a long time ago that while I care about people and I want to hear other people's opinions, I make my decisions based on wanting to please an audience of one person, God. If I please heaven, everybody on earth will take care of themselves. And I can feel confident that I'm doing the right thing, and I sleep well at night. And I let God take care of the rest.
Mr. Cameron, to finish, I always end my interviews with the same question.
Okay.
What have I not asked you? And what do you want to say to the readers of Aletheia? Or in other words, what would you like to end this interview?
Well, I like all of your questions. They have been very thoughtful, and I appreciate you telling people about the movie LifeMark and also the movie Fireproof. That was a special movie for me also. I think everyone who is married can relate to some aspect in that movie of struggle in your relationships, temptation towards sin, renewing your heart before God, and surrounding yourself with good friends that can help you on your journey. But I think the way I would like to end this is maybe with a prayer and a blessing for all of your readers. Would that be okay?
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
To all the listeners out there, to everyone watching and everyone reading, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and your family and give you peace. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Mr. Cameron, Mr. Kirk Cameron, actor, star of the film LifeMark. Thank you very much for this interview, for answering all the questions of Aletheia in Espanol in this exclusive interview, even with my Spanglish. So thank you very much.
Jose, it's been a pleasure to talk to you, and your Spanglish is very good. And I'm going to work. I'm going to work on my Spanglish also. So next time when maybe I come to Spain with my daughter, we can speak Spanglish together.
Perfect. Sure. Okay.
And you have to take me to some place with some. You have to take me to a tapas restaurant with really, really good jamon and really good. What is the dish? Paella. Oh, I love paella.
If jamon and paella are the best thing of our Spanish culture, for sure.
And a good glass of Spanish red wine.
Sure, I'm completely agree. When you come back to Spain, I could show the best jamon and the best restaurants of paella, and obviously to drink the best red wine.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jose. All right, take care. Bye.